I want to know where you find those 12 the 12 places, or like groups of people, the Haitians, the Dominicans, the Cubans, where you find that in the Bible compared to these tribes that are mentioned in Israel.
Okay. You don't find these terms in the Bible. These was created by your ancestors. So what we have done, we come out to show our people their biblical tribes.
I want them one for one. Judah to American blacks, Benjamin
Listen, I already told you you cannot dictate how we answer the question.
I know.
And the curses of Deuteronomy is the sign that's going to show us who the Israelites are. You see, Evan got to go now. The truth hurts. Evan said, I got to get up out of here. The truth hurts. But God says Judah will be in the neck of it, and he will live in close proximity to his enemy.
Oh man, took out the chains. So when the wind blow, we just swing. Much of pressure, that's a killer. Ready, set, pull the trigger. Send a postcard, pick a nigga. Damn, we want justice. Still in some.
Evan, and what's your name? Sebastian, and my brother Zion. That's a powerful name right there. All praise. Evan.
I ain't finna bag down. I'm in the trenches with a war at. Looking for it.
Evan, Sebastian, Zion. Okay, I got those. So now, Evan, can you ask your question one more time?
I want to know where you find those 12 places, or like groups of people, the Haitians, the Dominicans, the Cubans, where you find that in the Bible compared to these tribes that are mentioned in Israel.
Okay, so take a step to my left.
Well, I just want
take a step.
Where is it? Where is it?
I'm going to answer.
Okay.
You asked me a question. You cut me off now.
Yes.
Okay.
Just don't ramble, please, because I feel like.
Hey, first off, we don't have to answer your question. We didn't come out here. So if we're gonna give you we're gonna give you the benefit, we're gonna allow you to ask a question because I felt like it was a good question. So I'm going to answer your question, but you don't run nothing here. You don't run nothing. The 1600s is over. The 1700s is over. So you cannot tell me how to answer. Okay. Now, in the Bible, you do not find these names.
Yeah.
West American Black, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Dominican, even Caucasian. You don't find these terms in the Bible. These was created by your ancestors. So what we have done, we come out to show our people their biblical tribe. Now you're wondering, how do we know who these biblical tribes are? I'm going to show you. Give me Isaiah 46, verse 10. Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 10. And we're going to show you how we know that we are real Jews. We the Israelites the Bible speak of. Evan, Sebastian, you a Christian? All right, good. Listen to this Bible. What you got?
Here's the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, the verse 10.
Come on.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
God says he did what?
Declaring the end from the beginning.
God declared the end from the beginning. So if I was to say something is going to happen before it's happened, Evan, what is that called?
It's called prophecy.
Absolutely. So the way that we know who the biblical Israelites are is through prophecy. I'm going to show you. Give me Deuteronomy 28. How you doing, sister? How you doing, sister? Good to meet you. What's your name? Ricari. We got Zion, Ricari.
Yeah.
Evan and Sebastian. So Evan asks, how do we know that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are these tribes? Right? So we're going to show the prophecies that prove that we are God's chosen people. Evan's not even listening. He asks a disingenuous question. He just asks questions just so he can just be heard. But we're going to show. You read verse 1. Read what you got. 28 verse 1.
Get the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
Come on.
It shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
So the word, it shall come to pass. Evan, because you asked the question. Now you're not listening. If it says, it shall come to pass, what does that mean?
It shall come to pass.
What does it mean? It's simplify it for me. You just used the word earlier.
God's counsel stands. It prophecy.
Yeah, absolutely. Prophecy. So now I'm going to show you a prophecy concerning these people and how to identify them today.
I want them one for one. Judah to American blacks, Benjamin.
Listen. I already told you cannot dictate how we answer the question.
I know,
and we're going to do so, but you have to be patient.
It's the holy word of God.
Well, what are you studying, Evan? What you studying? Huh? You're studying physics.
Yes.
When you went to physics, you didn't go to your professor and tell him, I want to learn about string theory or the way I want to learn about it.
Right.
I want to learn about relativity the way I want to learn. You didn't do that, Evan. So now we're teaching the Bible. You came up to us. We didn't come up to you.
That's completely.
So now we're going to answer the question. Sebastian, you seem like you got some sense. Tell Evan, relax. We're going to get to it. We're going to answer this question. Have patience. The word is patience. The Bible says, in your patience, possess your what?
I don't know.
Exactly. You actually me things about the Bible. You don't know the Bible. In your patience, possess your soul. Now listen to this. Read verse 15.
Verse 15.
Come on.
What? It shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
So the chosen people was told if they didn't listen to God, what would happen?
to observe and to do all his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Sebastian, I'm going to get to your question. Let me finish my point. The curses of Deuteronomy 28 dictate how we know who these people are. I'm going to give you an example. Then I'm going to go to a specific tribe and show you an example. Right? Like Evan wanted me to do, but we not on his time. We on God's time. Read verse 46. Read what you got.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So a sign does what, Zion? The reason I know that's Mocha Company is because of what? The sign. The curses of Deuteronomy is the sign that's going to show us who the Israelites are.
Read them. And for a wonder. And upon thy seed forever.
How long?
Forever.
So throughout time, throughout history, and up into the present, you're going to be able to see that the chosen people will be going through these curses. Let's see what the curses are. 48.
Verse 48. Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies.
God said the chosen people will have to serve their enemies. This happened to us. 1600s, 1700s, up into the Jim Crow era, where crosses was burned. We had to serve our enemies. Is that hatred or is that just history? Zion, what is it? It's history, right?
Read on. Right. Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Come on.
In hunger and in thirst.
Whenever you hungry, we got to go to another race of people. Whenever we thirsty, we got to go to another race of people. Read on.
And in nakedness and in want of all things.
Now this is proof for the chosen people. Evan, hold on. Here go your answer right now. Genesis 49. Because you asked. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer.
Can I get my response after?
Absolutely. No, but you can only respond if you're not going to run.
Okay.
Because I hate when people do responses and then they go. If you're going to have a dialogue, Evan, one at a time. So if you ask me, can you respond after? Absolutely, Evan, you can respond. We are here to teach the Bible.
All right.
So if you want to give a response, but just have the dignity, so once you give your response, to stay for the answer. All right?
Okay.
All right, now listen to this. Now I'm going to answer your question.
It's
Listen to
back and forth, though.
Listen, Evan, listen. Here's your answer. Read. Verse 1.
Book of Genesis, chapter 49, and verse 1.
Come on.
And Jacob called unto his son and said, gather yourselves together.
Now these are the sons of Jacob.
Yep.
Jacob's name was changed to Israel. He called his sons, and what happened?
That I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last day.
Evan, do you agree that we are in the last days?
Yes.
Absolutely. So now Jacob tells his sons, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to you in the last days. Read on.
Gather yourselves together, and hear ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
Now listen. Now each one of these things is going to identify where these people are. Start at verse 8. Judah.
Verse 8. Judah, thou art he, whom thy brother shall praise.
Judah is who the brethren shall praise. Why? Why is it that the rest of the brethren will praise Judah? Who knows? It's a simple answer.
Because that's where Christ comes from.
Absolutely. Because Jesus the Christ comes out of the tribe of Judah, who is a black man, by the way.
Hey, thy head shall be in the neck of thine enemy.
Now, in the last days, the tribe of Judah would live with their enemies. For a lot of people who may not know, but the so-called African Americans, you are the tribe of Judah. Zion, you are the real Jews. Right. Where do we live? Do not we live in the same landmass as the people that brought us in slavery? Do not we live around the same people whose ancestors burned crosses in our land, in our front yard, who hung our mothers, who had picnics? Even to this day, yesterday there was 2 hanging down south. They trying to cover up. Now you see, Evan got to go now. The truth hurt. Evan said, I got to get up out of here. Right. The truth hurt. But God says Judah would be in the neck of it, and he would live in close proximity to his enemy. Is this truth, or am I making this up, Zion? It's history. I got you. I'm gonna finish out his question, even though he left. I'm gonna give his decency to finish out his question. Read.
Thy father, children shall bow down before thee.
Wow, because Judah is the first of these tribes to stand up. Even when you look at what's called the turbulent 60s, who was the first people to raise up and try to fight against oppression here in America? You had black people. You had the civil rights movement. Most of the laws today that a lot of people benefit off of is because our ancestors fought in the civil rights movement to get those rights. A lot of the rights that's given to homosexuals today, to immigrants today, a lot of these, they wouldn't even exist if our ancestors didn't stand up and fight. That's
Right.
true.
Right, read on. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son. Thou art gone up. He stood down, he crept as a lion. And as a old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Now that's the question. Once upon a time, we was like a young lion. The young men in our neighborhoods, once upon a time, they was very smart, very keen. They was into various reading. They was snappy. Now the young men in our communities, what are they? That's at crash outs. That's a wonderful word. They crash outs. What has happened to us? We have become an old lion here. We was once a young lion fighting for what we wanted, trying to build back communities. You had Martin Luther King, you had Malcolm X, you had the Black Panthers, you had various movements that was standing up, that was fighting against and looking for justice in the society. But now, we have the Crips, we have the Bloods, we have fallen asleep nowadays. You understand what I'm saying? And this is, when I can go through each tribe and show you distinct characteristics of these tribes and how we know these people are the tribe. The problem is, the reason Evan asked that is because he was looking for a flaw in our doctrine. But ain't no flaws in God's word. The word stands true. We are God's chosen people. It is what it is. I don't care if it hurt Evan's feelings, because they didn't care if it hurt our feelings when they told us we couldn't read the book. Now we picked it up and read it, and we found out they was lying about it. And now they want us to feel sad for them. We just don't. Sebastian, I give you an opportunity. What's your question? I give you the question I told Evan I would give him. I'm going to give it to you, Sebastian. What's your question, young man?
So do you believe that you guys are the only ones that can be saved?
Do I believe that when you say you guys, what do you mean by you guys?
You say these tribes. Do you believe these tribes are the only ones that will be saved at the end of time?
So, Sebastian, I believe in the Bible. So I'm going to show you what the Bible says about that topic. I'm not going to give you my personal opinion. I'm not going to give you feelings. That's a good question. Do we believe that only these tribes can be saved? Give me Luke chapter 1.
Bring it
Read
on.
this. Read what you got.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 68. Bring it on. Read the Lord of Israel.
Yeah, Sebastian, who did God say he's the Lord of?
The Lord of Israel.
He's the Lord of Israel. But throughout history, we've been taught God loves everybody. God says he's the Lord of Israel. The problem is we don't know who the real Israel is. But you so-called blacks and Hispanics, you're going to find out you are the biblical Israel.
No,
So look it on.
blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
Come on.
For he hath visited and redeemed his people.
No, he visited all people.
His people.
He redeemed everybody.
His people.
Read.
And have raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
Now, I guarantee both of you, me and you can agree, who is the salvation that he rose up? We can agree on this, right? Who is it? Who is the salvation that rose up? Who is this man? Jesus the Christ, right? Read on.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophet.
And the holy prophets always prophesied Jesus was going to come to save his people. From what? Slavery. Because when you read the Bible, God's chosen people had a covenant agreement with God. They would be the best people on the earth if they listen. If they didn't listen, they would be at the bottom of society. And Jesus had, let me finish Sebastian's question, and I'll come to you. I got you. Read.
Which have been since the world began. That we should be saved from our enemies.
So, Sebastian, did you hear that? He says it has been written since the world began that we, the Israelites, should be saved by our enemy. So now this is just a regular question, right? If the Israelites have to be saved from their enemies, will their enemies be saved also?
Bring it out.
It don't make no sense. Absolutely, Sebastian, you're absolutely correct. No. Because if I wanted to, Sebastian, if you called 911 and said I need help to be saved because me, Samson, is hurting you, and they come and they say we're gonna help both, how would you feel? Like, no, he's assaulting me. I need help, not them. And it's the same thing for us. Your people don't need salvation. We the people who went through 400 years of captivity without pay. We the people who never received reparation. Every group of people who have lost a major war have received reparation. The so-called Jewish people, they still receiving reparations for to this day for what happened to them in the so-called Holocaust. But we had the biggest Holocaust on the face of the earth, and we got nothing for it. We built the greatest society on the face of the earth, and we have nothing to show for it. Do you think God looks down and says, that's okay? We all say God is a just God. Is that just that certain people can be beaten, abused year after year after year after year after year, and then now the people who did that to them, they say we want to be saved too? From what? You are the predator. Right. You are the person that's doing this. Right. You are the enemy that we must be saved from.
That's right.
That's right.
Now you got another question. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So everyone but those people are enemies?
Say it again.
So everyone but those people are enemies in your eyes?
God is very distinct on who got his enemies are. So let's go to Psalms. First, before we get to Psalms 83, let's go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. Because you said everybody but those people. Because I see what you tried to do there. That was very slick there. That was very slick. What you tried to do was you tried to turn public opinion against them. We used to turn these tactics. I see what you trying to do there.
Bro, what tactic?
But we're gonna listen. We're gonna read this. No, it's just embedded inside of you. Because who your father is. I'm gonna show you.
That's right.
Read it, verse 68. Listen to this. Huh? You said what?
I didn't know what my father is.
Because your father is Esau. Because but where is it at? This is your father. I know you're not familiar with biblical history, but this is your ancient ancestor.
Right.
Esau, Idumean. This is Esau. Jacob and Esau were twin brothers. Me and you, our families go back to an ancient biblical history that you know nothing about.
Right.
So yeah, I know who your father is, but you just haven't had the historical understanding to know. But I'm going to answer your first question. We're going to go back to that. Put that over there. Read up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 68.
Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
God said he would bring the chosen people for their disobedience into Egypt again. We are familiar with ancient Egypt. It was the most advanced civilization on the face of the earth. Y'all familiar with that, right? But what were the Hebrews in Egypt? What was their job? Was they the pharaohs? What was their job? Anybody know? The Hebrews in Egypt were slaves. That's when you read Exodus, the whole book is about God saving them from slavery. He brought the plagues. He split the Red Sea and destroyed the Egyptian armies. But God said he will bring them back into Egypt if they disobey. Back into slavery. But let's see how.
Read. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
How are they going to go into slavery?
With ships.
How are they going to go into slavery?
With ships.
What people on the face of the earth have went into slavery on ships, Sebastian?
Bring it up.
My people, yeah.
Our people. Which is
was
proof.
was it only your people that were oppressed in the history of the world?
Well, one question at a time. I'm gonna get to that's a good question as well. But let's just do one at a time because I'm still addressing your question concerning the enemy. So we went into slavery on ships.
Read on. By the way, whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
The no more again is your homeland, the blessings we were supposed to receive. Because as a people, we never went back home. If I ask you what's your homeland, what you gonna say?
We don't. So personally, I necessarily don't believe what they have told us about our history.
So what would you say?
So
What's your
I know
homeland?
that I was born in America, right? But there were people here for thousands of years before people decided to settle on this land.
I agree. What is your homeland? That's what it is.
So I don't believe that what people say.
No, I don't. I'm not asking you what you believe, right? Or what people say. I'm asking you, what do you believe your homeland?
We are the.
Okay, good. Okay. So what do you believe your homeland is? You don't know. My point of even saying that is, you see how we all the same people, but we will all give a different answer about what our homeland is.
Right.
Our biblical homeland, like you said, ancient Israel, Jerusalem, which is above is free. But most of our time, when you ask somebody, they're going to say Africa. But then you tell them it's over 50 nations in Africa. It's thousands of languages in Africa. Which one do you come from? Then they freeze up. You understand? But God said we wouldn't see it no more as a people. We haven't went back home. Why?
Read. And there ye
And once you get off them slave ships, read.
and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Now, Sebastian, this is a simple question. When we got off the slave ships, who was we sold to? Americans?
To the
They wasn't even known as Americans at that time.
Okay, it was. To the US. To the colonies.
The so-called Caucasians.
That's right.
Because America, U.S. America, they had slavery in in Spain. They had slavery in China. They had slavery throughout. But the common denominator is the Europeans. Were buying and selling us. That's the common denominator. Now, who did God say? What did God say? You should be sold to?
Your enemies.
God said you should be sold to your enemies. Now, it wasn't just the so-called Europeans that sold us. Like I just mentioned, we were sold in China. We were sold in Iran. We were sold in Pakistan.
You were also sold by your own Africans as well.
That's the thing. You see how you just called me African? That was disrespectful. That was
That's
spit in
right.
your face because I
That's
just
right.
told you who I am.
Bring it
I'm
up.
an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
And we was not sold. I'm going to show you exactly because there is a difference between Hamitic nations and the Israelites.
Bring it
All
up.
black people not the same people. Even though I know deep down, Grandpa used to say all them niggas look the same. I know how you, huh? Yeah, you're right. Give me, I'm going to show you what I mean. Read what you got.
Wait, why would you assume that?
Exodus 11 and 8. Huh?
Why would you assume that?
It's because I wanted to. Listen to this. Read what you got.
This but against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
God said against any of the children of Israel, a dog is referring to the heathen nations. They can't speak against us. Why? Because we went through everything we went through, and we still came out the greatest people on earth.
That's
We're the
right.
highest. We sing the best. We run the fastest.
Right.
We're still the greatest people on earth. We just at the bottom of society.
That's
Read on. Against man or beast,
Uh-huh.
that ye may know how the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
God said he put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Egyptians, you would consider them an African people, right? But there's a difference between that dark-skinned people and the Israelites, who are also a dark-skinned people.
Can I?
There's a various difference. I'm sure. What you got something to say?
Well, yeah, because you assume my grandpa was a racist, which
Uh-huh.
I didn't really appreciate. He wasn't racist. He was
Okay.
Actually, he was actually a very good man. It wasn't
Okay.
very respectful of you to like assume that. You feel like because you've been saying
What's
all-
your nationality, Sebastian?
nationality? I'm from Iraq. I'm Chaldean.
You Chaldean.
I'm
Okay.
Chaldean, yes.
Okay. So I know that your people are
so
racist.
you
Bring it out.
Do they not call our people Habibs, which means slaves? Do they not? Is that not?
Bring
a
it
thing?
out.
I'm saying.
Do they, I just asked you a simple question.
My
They
grandpa-
do, right?
My grandpa didn't say
I,
that.
do,
though.
they
My
do,
grandpa
right?
didn't say that.
Chaldeans
Yeah,
do
the
that
history
about
of
us, right?
The history of our people. Yeah, I'm not supporting the history of people.
So even if it wasn't the grandpa you know, he had a grandpa that did do that. Did not? Did you know? Do you know about? Because I thought you was an Edomite. Actually, you are an Ishmaelite. Where's that? Where the other side? The Ishmael side. Turn that one around. Yeah, look at it. I want to show you this. Because a lot of people don't realize this. You're not. This is what's known as the sub-Saharan slave trade.
That's right.
The history you just mentioned, where you said Africans sold others Africans, did you know that your people were vital in that history? Did you know that? I'm gonna go to Joel.
Everyone was vital in that.
So let me ask you, what's your name, my brother? RJ. Good to meet you, RJ. I'm Samson. Zion. And what's your name? What's me, Gio. Good to meet y'all. I want y'all to look at this history here. Now, I want you to know, right? You see it says Arabs, whites, and black, right? This is called the sub-Saharan slave trade.
Right.
This happened many years prior to the transatlantic slave trade that brought us to this side of the world. Not only that, it's still going on today, where Arab African countries have black people enslaved. You can look it up online. You can look it up that his people still have us in slavery,
Right.
beating our women. There's a lot of missing people that go on in America. A lot of people transported over there because it's still happening today. Let's see what God says about it and why it happened. Listen to this, Joel chapter 3.
Joel chapter 3 and verse 3.
Come on.
They have cast lot for my people, and have given a void for an harlot.
God said, I want you to start at verse 1. Actually. I want you to, because we're going to take our time and go through this history, because they not going to teach y'all in this here.
That's what I've done research on.
You did. That's good. That's good. That's good. So let's see if our conclusions come together and we can agree. Let's see. Let me read it, and then I'm going to ask you about it, okay? That's fair? RJ, right? All right. Read it from the top. Read what you got.
It's the book of Joel, chapter 3, and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
For behold, in those days and that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
God says, turn it around, he's going to bring again, meaning he's going to reverse the slavery that we went through. Because if you look at each one of these tribes, the single thing we have in common is we have been enslaved and we are still being oppressed and captive today. That's the single thing we have in common. Look, Sebastian got to go. You got to get up out of here. They talking about my people now. They showing the Arab slavery. Let me get up out of here. Read you got.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
The valley of Jehoshaphat is what we call the Middle East. God is bringing them down, meaning there's a war gearing up. You hear what's going on in Palestine. All the different nations are calling out that it's a genocide that's going on. Why? Because it's prophesied that God is going to gather all nations for the third war, which we consider World War III. God calls it the third war, third destruction. It's prophesied that this was going to take place.
Read on. And I will plead with them. There for my people and for my heritage, Israel.
Now the thing that is common in this third war is every single one of the parties that have went to war, or that are going to war, they had us enslaved. America, the so-called Jewish people,
Right.
the Palestinians,
Right.
the Chinese,
Right.
the European government.
Right.
All of those, the common denominator is they all put our people in slavery
Right.
in some form or fashion. Read on.
Whom they scattered among the nations.
They scattered us among the nations.
Right.
Read. Where that one map of the transatlantic slave trade? Absolutely.
But my question is,
Hold on, we gonna get there. I know, Joe. Where is it? Oh yeah, you see the scattering that took place, because a lot of times we only talk about the slavery that happened here, but it's all over the world. Right. Let me finish it out, because I can see where you're going. We're gonna get to the Gentiles. Read.
And the nations parted my land.
What did they do?
Parted my land.
Over there right now, who lives in the land of Israel?
I don't know.
The so-called Palestinians, who we know today as Arabs, and the so-called Jewish man, who the Bible calls Amalek.
Right.
He's not a Jew. Who today we call them Jewish. They have parted God's land, and they say that it belongs to them, but it doesn't belong to neither one of them. It's our land. That's our land that they over there fighting for. When they say pray for Palestine, they say stop the war. They warring over our land, and God is not going to. It's not going to stop until God brings the final destruction.
Read on. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot.
They sold us as breeders. They took the big strong one. They say, "Oh, that brother, he's strong. He'd be a good slave. Let's and make him have sex with his mother." That's where the term mother effer comes from. Let's make him have sex with all these different women so we can produce super slaves. That's what they did to us.
Read. And sold a girl for wine.
They sold us for wine. And what did they do when they got drunk? What did they do with the women? You seen the movies? They raped our sisters. They raped our mothers. Read on.
That they might drink.
Come on.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Tyre and Zidon are two Hamitic, Nilotic African nations. Like we just said earlier, everybody that's dark don't mean they're the same people. You have the Egyptians, you have the Israelites, you have the Canaanites, you have the Israelites.
Bring it up.
Which they call them Africans, they different than us.
That's right.
Not all of them, because there's a large portion of us that got left over there. They're still, but there is a large group of them that are Hamites that hate us.
Read on. And all the cost of Palestine.
Palestine, we know them today as Palestinians. God's telling you in the Bible, the so-called Nilotic Africans and the Palestinians, the Arabs, they came together and they did what?
Will ye render me a recompense?
They tried to pay back God, because God chose us to be the chosen people. It is upsets them. Even in their Quran, they read it that Israel, we the chosen people. They know you the chosen people. Why do you think they set up their gas stations in your neighborhood? They salons. They set up everything in your neighborhood to steal the wealth out of your community. Read on.
And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your head.
Come on.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold.
They robbed the temple of God. Read.
And have carried it into your temples. My goodly pleasant thing.
Come on.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem.
The children of Judah, which is who we call today African Americans, so-called Haitians, and the so-called Jamaicans or West Indians, right? They sold us. Who did they sell us to?
Have ye sold unto the Grecians?
Who was the Grecians? Greeks. The Bible said the so-called Nilotic Hamites and the Arabs sold us to the Grecians. Who are the Grecians? Who did they sell them to? Who did the Africans and the Arabs sell us to? The white man. That's who the Grecians are.
That's right.
The white man. This is biblical history. This is biblical prophecy, but now it is our history. Because it was written thousands of years before it actually happened. And now it's our history. And now we can come out this book and show that we are the people of God and they not. And that's why I upset it with them. That's why Evan and Sebastian, they said, I thought I could get them. I got to get out of here.
Read on. That you might remove them far from their borders.
Come on.
Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them.
So right now, God is raising us up. He brothers like you finding out your biblical Israel. You Israelite. Y'all today, y'all finding out y'all not black. Y'all not African American. Y'all not Negro. Y'all are the tribe of Judah. Y'all are Israelites. Y'all finding this now up, and God is raising us back up to come back to who we are because the third war is coming. The third war is coming. Turn on the news. Just turn it on. You can see it. Gearing up every day. They're giving up to civil unrest, civil war, and the ultimate war that's going to destroy the face of the earth.
That's right.
And your salvation is in it. Because that's when Jesus Christ, the black Messiah, will return to save us.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation